Hello students, welcome back to online lecture of MG Shah Vidya Mandir and Junior College Bahubali. Welcome to 10th Maths Bridge course, part 7. Students, in Bridge course, today we will start some points from day 36 to day 44. We see one by one each point in this video. So let's start today's video. Hello students, welcome back to online lecture of our maths 10th maths bridge course. Student, from 1st July we had started bridge course program. Now this is the last video in this bridge course, which is depends on day 36 to day 44. So let's start. In the day 36, you had learned in 9th standard what is the ratio and operation on equal ratios. You had learned what is the ratio. You know, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, we call it as ratio. These ratios are equal. Then what are the operations on equal ratios? You had seen in the 9th standard. First operation is the invertendo. व्यस्त क्रिया सब म्हणतोय. Invertendo means what? See, as you remember, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you write this as invertendo means व्यस्त उलट लिहायचं. B upon A is equal to D upon A. Okay. Then alternando, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then मराठीमध्ये आपल्याला एकांतर क्रिया असं म्हणतो. एकांतर म्हणजे काय? न्यूमरेटर एका साईडला घ्यायचं आणि डिनॉमिनेटर एका साईडला घ्यायचं. A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you write A upon C is equal to B upon D. Next componendo, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you can write as, if you add this numerator plus denominator upon denominator is equal to numerator plus denominator upon denominator. Okay. In the component, if you add numerator and denominator, and in dividendo, if you subtract A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you subtract numerator minus denominator, C minus D upon D. Okay. And in component of dividendo, what happens? See, both the operations simultaneously. That is, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you write at the numerator A plus B and at the denominator A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. Means here at the numerator you add numerator plus denominator, and at the denominator you subtract numerator minus denominator. Okay. Now we see some examples on it. See students, example first. If A upon B is equal to 3 upon 2, then find B upon A and A plus B upon B. See here, which is the operation? Inverse is there, so it is called the invertendo. And here at the numerator addition is there, so it is componendo operation. So you write first given things. A upon B is equal to 3 upon 2. It is given. Now you take invertendo by invertendo. You can write as B upon A is equal to 2 upon 3. We get the first answer. Then from this you can write, now again A upon B is equal to 3 upon 2. Which operation is there? Componendo. By componendo, you write as A plus B upon B is equal to 3 plus 2 upon 2, that is equal to 5 upon 2. Okay, very easy. Then second one, here we had given A upon B is equal to 5 upon 2. It is given. We have to find 3A plus 2B upon 3A minus 2B. Here observe, there is component and there is dividendo. At the numerator component is there and at the denominator there is dividendo. So which two numbers component is there? 3a and 2b. So here we want 3a and 2b. Here a and b is there. So here you multiply by 3. Here you multiply by 3 and here you multiply by 2. Means you multiply both sides by 3 by 2. Multiply both sides by 3 by 2. What do we get? See, 3 by 2. You multiply by 3 by 2. Okay. A upon b and 5 upon 2. You multiply by 3 by 2. We get 3a upon 2b is equal to 5 3s are 15 upon 4. Okay, we get the bases 3a and 2b. Now there is component and dividendo. So you buy componendo dividendo. You write 3a plus 2b upon 3a minus 2b is equal to 15 plus 4 upon 15 minus 4 is equal to 19 upon 11. So we get 3a plus 2b upon 3a minus 2b as 19 upon 11. Okay. See students, next day point is ratio and proportional. What is the proportional? You know, if a upon b is equal to c upon d, then we say that A, B, C, D are in proportional. These are the proportional. And what is the continued proportional? If A upon B is equal to B upon C, if A upon B is equal to B upon C, then we say that A, B, C are in continued proportional. Continued proportion. Okay. Here you observe that A into D is equal to B into C, and here B into B means B square is equal to AC. It is also called as geometric mean. Here C is also called, B is also called as geometric mean of A and C. Okay. Geometric mean म्हणजे यालाच आपण geometrical mean देखील म्हणू शकतो. We see example on it. See first example. If A, B, C, D are in proportional and A is equal to 4, B is equal to 8 and C is equal to 5, then find D. Here given that A, B, C, D are in proportional. A, B, C, D are in proportion. Okay. A, B, C, D are in proportional means A upon B is equal to C upon D. You had learned in the definition. So you put the value and find the D. 4 upon 8 is equal to 5 upon D. 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. 1 upon 2 is equal to 5 upon D. You cross multiply. D into 1 is D is equal to 5 twos are 10. So you get value of D as 2. Similarly, see example number 2. If M is geometric mean of 12 and 3, then find M. I had told you geometrical mean. See, M is geometric mean of 12 and 3. Therefore, you write M square is equal to 12 into 3. That is, M square is equal to 12 3s are 36. Taking square root on both sides, you get M is equal to plus or minus 6. Okay. Students, now we see word problem on ratio and proportional. See here example given. The present ages of Vatsala and Sara are 14 years and 10 years respectively. After how many years will the ratio of their ages become 5:4? See, present age of ratio is given, present age of Vastala and Sara, present age is given. Here you suppose this present age as suppose x after x years. What is their ages? 14 plus x and 10 plus x. Okay, Vatsala's age is 14 plus x and Sara's age is 10 plus x. Now what is the given condition? After how many years their ratio becomes 5:4? So after x year their ratio becomes 5:4, we suppose. So this ratio is 5:4. Okay. So you write 14 plus x upon 10 plus x is equal to 5 upon 4. You cross multiply 4 into 14 plus x is equal to 5 into 10 plus x. You simplify this, you get the value of x as 6. So after 6 years, their ratio becomes 5:4. Okay. Next example is C. Quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram given. The ratio of angle A and angle B of this parallelogram is 5:4. Find the measure of angle B. Here ratio is given, A and B's ratio is given 5:4. We suppose A angle as 5x and angle B as 4x. Okay. See here the ratio is given 5:4. You multiply angle A as 5x and B as 4x. Now student, you observe these two are angle A and angle B are here. These two angles are interior angles of this parallelogram. So you know sum of the interior angle is 180 degree. Angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree because these are the interior angles. So angle A and angle B are interior angles. They are supplementary, means their sum is 180 degree. You put the value of A as 5x and B 4x is equal to 180. That is 9x is equal to 180. We get the value of x as 20 degree. 20. So angle B is 4x, means 4 into 20, 80 degree. Therefore our last answer is, what is the value of angle B? The measure of angle B is 80 degree. Okay. Similarly, see the next one. The ratio of two number is 31:23 and their sum is 216. Find these numbers. We suppose the numbers are 31x and 23x respectively. We had given their sum is 216. So you write 31x plus 23x is equal to 216. That is 54x is equal to 216. You get the value of x as 4. So you put the value 31x is equal to 31 into 4 is equal to 124 and 23x is equal to 23 into 4 is equal to 92. Therefore, the required answer is, the required values are, numbers are 124 and 92 respectively. Okay, these are the word problems based on ratio and proportional. Here we completed ratio and proportional. Now student, we will start one new concept in maths 2, that is coordinate geometry. You had learned in 9th standard the topic coordinate geometry, which is useful in 10th standard also. See some basic concept first. See here there are x and y axis is given. This is x axis and y axis is given. X axis and y axis intersect each other at point O, 0, 0. They are perpendicular each other. Due to this x and y axis, this plane is divided into 4 parts. This is first part, second, third and fourth part. These 4 parts we called as quadrants. First quadrant, starting from this first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. You know, on x-axis on the right there are positive numbers, on the left hand side there are negative numbers. Here positive numbers, here negative numbers, and on y-axis positive and here negative numbers are there. These are the basic concepts in coordinate geometry. X, y axis, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. And you know, in the first quadrant, x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is positive. You know, see, in the first quadrant, x is positive and y is also positive. In second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In third quadrant, see, on the x-axis, x is negative and y is also negative. And in this fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. These are the basic concepts. From this basic concept, give me answer of the following question. See, here figure is given. We have to write the coordinates of point E, F, G, T from the figure. So what is the point E? Point E, see, point E intersect x-axis at 2 and y-axis at 1. So you write, whenever you write the coordinate, first write x coordinate and then y. So here x coordinate is 2 and y coordinate is 1. So coordinates of point E are 2, 1. Now coordinates of point F, see, where is the point F? Coordinates of point F are, it intersect at x-axis at -3 and on y-axis at 3. So coordinates of F are -3, 3. Coordinate of point G, see, point G, coordinate of point G are -4 and -2. And lastly coordinates of point T are 3 and -1. Okay. Now students, I had told you here there are 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant, x and y both are positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, both are negative. And in the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. You had learned on this. Here I had told you just you. Okay. Now these are the 4 quadrants and also coordinates are on x axis and y axis. बघा x axis वरचा कोऑर्डिनेट कसा लिहितोय आपण, लक्षात आहे का? इथं बघा 1 0 आहे, म्हणजे x axis वर 1 आणि y कोऑर्डिनेट इथं अब्सेंट आहे म्हणून आपण काय लिहितोय 0. कोऑर्डिनेट ऑफ पॉइंट m चे कोऑर्डिनेट काय आहे तिथं, x axis वर 3 पॉइंटला आहे आणि y axis कोऑर्डिनेट 0 आहे. सो कोऑर्डिनेट्स ऑफ पॉइंट m is 0. You remember this. Coordinate of point M is 3 0 and coordinate of point N lies on the y-axis. So its y coordinate is present, x coordinate is absent, means 0. So write coordinate of N as 0 4 and coordinate of M as 3 0. Okay. M point lies on the x-axis, so you write the x coordinate, and N coordinate lies on the y-axis, so your present is y coordinate. So students, you remember the y coordinate of every point on x-axis is 0. First thing, y coordinate of every point on x-axis. x-axis वर कोठेही पॉइंट असेल तर त्याचा कोणता कोऑर्डिनेट प्रेझेंट असतोय, x कोऑर्डिनेट प्रेझेंट असतोय आणि y कोऑर्डिनेट 0 असतोय. And similarly x coordinate of every point on y axis is 0. एखादा पॉइंट y axis वर असेल तर त्याचा y coordinate प्रेझेंट असतो आणि x coordinate 0 असतो. And coordinate of origin are 0 0. Now here you had given one question. You write in which quadrant or on which axis the point lies. See, in which quadrant or on which axis the following points lie. First point is A 5 7. Observe here, what is the x coordinate of A 5 and y coordinate of A is 7. both are positive. So here x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is positive. Therefore point A lies in the first quadrant. Then see the next point B, minus 6 4. X coordinate of point B is negative and y coordinate is positive, means negative positive. Therefore point B lies in the second quadrant. Similarly point C, x coordinate of point C is positive and y coordinate of point C is negative. Therefore point C lies in the fourth quadrant. Point D, x coordinate of point D is negative and y coordinate of point D is also negative. Therefore point D lies on the third quadrant. Next one, point P, minus 3 0. Student observe here x coordinate of point P is present and y coordinate is 0. Therefore point P lies on the axis, not quadrant. एखादा जर कोऑर्डिनेट 0 असेल तर तो काय असणार आहे, ॲक्सिसवर लाय होणार आहे. इथं कोणता कोऑर्डिनेट 0 आहे पॉईंट पीचा वाय कोऑर्डिनेट 0 आहे. देअरफॉर पॉईंट पी लाईज ऑन द एक्स ॲक्सिस. अँड सिमिलरली फॉर पॉईंट क्यूचा एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट 0 आहे आणि देअरफॉर पॉईंट क्यू लाईज ऑन द वाय ॲक्सिस. Similarly see the next, in which quadrant or on which axis the following points lies. See one by one. First 5 3. 5 3 means here both coordinates are positive, therefore it lies in the first quadrant. Then minus 2 4, x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive, so it lies in the second quadrant. You remember this quadrant. Here plus 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 minus, sorry, here see what happens. Here both are positive, negative positive second quadrant मध्ये negative negative आणि positive negative. You remember this, okay? You write here first quadrant, it is the first quadrant, it is second, third and fourth. So now you see that first is 5 3 plus plus means first quadrant, minus 2 4 negative positive means second quadrant, 2 minus 5 means fourth quadrant, 0 4, one coordinate is 0, x coordinate is 0, so it lies on the y axis. Minus 3 0 x axis, minus 2 minus 2.5 third quadrant, negative both are, here both are positive, 5 2.3 means first quadrant, minus 3.5 1.5 negative positive means it is second quadrant, 0 4 minus 4, one coordinate is 0, so it lies on the y axis. 2 minus 4 plus minus means it lies on the fourth quadrant. Okay, now we have to draw the graphs of the linear equation. You know linear equations, we have to draw the graphs of linear equation. First see, draw the graph of x is equal to minus 2 and y is equal to minus 3. x is equal to minus 2 म्हणजे काय बघा, आपल्याला इथं x ॲक्सिस आणि y ॲक्सिस काढायला लागेल. पहिल्यांदा फर्स्ट x ॲक्सिस आणि y ॲक्सिस ड्रॉ करून घ्यायला लागेल. You draw first x axis and y axis, then plot the points 1 2 3 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, 1 2 3 on y axis, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 on y axis. Then x is equal to 2 means this is the line parallel to y axis. x च्या 2 point मध्ये जाणारी लाईन काढायची आहे. It is the line x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 3 means y axis ला minus 3 मधून जाणारी लाईन. ही लाईन काय असणार आहे, y इज इक्वल टू -3 असणार आहे. ओके, सिम्पल. आफ्टर दिस कोऑर्डिनेट जॉमेट्री वी विल सी न्यू concept that is trigonometry. You had learned the word trigonometry in 9th standard. It is also useful in your 10th standard. There is also topic of trigonometry in 10th standard. So what is the terms related to first, what is the trigonometry? Trigonometry is related to which type of triangle? Right angled triangle. You know, trigonometry is related to right angled triangle. So we first see terms related to right angled triangle. Observe the figure here. Triangle ABC is given. Angle B is 90 degree. Angle B हा काय किती आहे तर 90 डिग्री आहे. Then A च्या opposite side, the side opposite to A is BC. Then A ला adjacent side कोणती आहे? AB. You remember only 3 things here: opposite side, adjacent side, and hypotenuse. Then you got the all trigonometric ratios. Adjacent side of A is AB and adjacent side of C is BC. Opposite side of A is BC and opposite side of C is AB. Hypotenuse is AC. Okay, and here also same. Now here in triangle PQR, see here right angle triangle. What is the side opposite to angle P? First you tell what is the hypotenuse is here. PR is the hypotenuse is here. Okay, what is the side opposite to PR? What is the side opposite to PR? Opposite to angle P. Angle P ला opposite, angle P ला opposite side कोणती आहे? QR. QR. Then what is the side opposite to angle R? PQ. Side adjacent to angle P. P ला adjacent side कोणती आहे? PQ again. And side adjacent to R is QR. Okay. If you know this relation, you get the points in the trigonometry. Now see here. You had learned all this in the 9th standard. What is the sine B? What is the sine relation? Opposite upon hypotenuse. We call it as sine B. Cos B is the adjacent upon hypotenuse and tan B is the opposite upon adjacent. There are 6 trigonometric ratios: sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot. You know, you had already learned all these in the 9th standard. So we recall these all concept. First is the sine ratio. What is the definition of sine ratio? Sine is equal to opposite side upon hypotenuse. Cos ratio we define as adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Tan ratio we define as opposite side upon adjacent side. Then sin theta we write in terms of theta. Sin theta means which angle is present, you write here. If there is angle A, you write sin A. Okay, sin theta is equal to opposite side of theta upon hypotenuse. Cos theta is adjacent side of theta upon hypotenuse. And tan theta is opposite side of theta upon adjacent side of theta. म्हणजे जो अँगल आहे त्याच्या अपोजिट साईड, त्याच्या ॲडजस्टंट साईड आपण इथं घेत असतो. Also you had learned relation among trigonometric ratio. What are the relation in the trigonometric ratio? You had learned, see, you had learned first ratio. Here you observe from this figure, M is the 90 degree, N is theta. So P is the 90 minus theta. You define first sin theta. Sin theta is opposite upon hypotenuse, means PM upon PN. Cos theta is MN upon PN and tan theta is PM upon MN. Then sin 90 minus theta is equal to MN upon PN. Cos 90 minus theta is PM upon PN and tan 90 minus theta is equal to MN upon PM. From these you observe that PM PN and here also PM PN means these two ratios are same. What is the same? Sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. Okay, and also you observe mn pn, sorry, here means cos theta is equal to sin 90 minus theta, and tan theta is equal to 1, tan theta into tan 90 minus theta is equal to 1. So from this relation you remember 3 points. First is the sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta, cos theta is equal to sin 90 minus theta, and lastly tan theta into tan 90 minus theta is equal to 1. These are the relation among trigonometric ratios. Then one more point is there, trigonometric ratios of particular ratios. For different angle you had learned this concept. This is the table. First sin 0 is 0, then sin 30 is 1 upon 2, sin 45 is 1 upon root 2, cos 60 is root 3 upon 2, sin 60 is root 3 upon 2, sin 90 is 1, then cos 0 is 1, cos 30 is root 3 upon 2, cos 45 is 1 upon root 2, cos 60 is 1 upon 2, and cos 90 is 0. And lastly tan 0 is 0, tan 30 is 1 upon root 3, tan 45 is 1, tan 60 is root 3, and tan 90 we not define. If you know this table, then you can find the example on it. See 2 example on it. Find the value of tan 45. Find the value of 2 tan 45 plus cos 30 minus sin 60. You write the given equation, then you put the value 2 as it is. What is the tan 45? 1. Cos 30 is root 3 upon 2. Sin 60 is root 3 upon 2. Root 3 upon 2 get cancels. Answer is 2. Next, find the value of cos 56 upon sin 34. You see here, you had learned one relation. Sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. We use this relation. So sin 34 you write as cos 90 minus 34. That is cos 56. So cos 56 upon sin 34 is equal to cos 56 upon cos 56. Cancelled. You get the answer 1. So students, this is about the trigonometry and trigonometric function ratios and some trigonometric angles you had learned. These are also useful in our 10th standard also. So we had completed here bridge course up to 44 days. One more test is remaining. It will be on 45th day. There will be third test on this maths bridge course. Okay, write all these concept in your notebook, and also I will send PDF of exercise of day 31 to 44 in your class WhatsApp group. Write this all exercise in your notebook carefully. Okay, thank you.